Welcome back to Germa Voice Podcast with your host, Germination. We are now in episode 4. Can you believe it? If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share. As it's transforming lives, we need it to reach so many of us. Today in episode 4, we talk about the power of a second chance. Sometimes you don't need a new life, just a second chance at the one that you already have. A second chance to breathe again, to forgive yourself. Yes, you owe it to yourself to try one more time, even if you've fallen 10 times, one more time, to love again. Somebody broke your heart, your marriage didn't work out, the kids are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you're depressed, you're lonely, you have no chosen family, no correction, you want to heal again. I've seen it all, whether at bedside, in the ICU, in raising children, in my own personal life. Second chances don't erase the past. They don't. They redeem it. They take what was broken and grow and germinate it into something beautiful in its place. Science calls it healing. Faith calls it grace. We, Germa Germs, call it becoming. Let me tell you a story of a patient that I've had. You know, I'm a clinician, right? I see lots of patients across throughout my life. But there was a gentleman, he said he was really sick. He was brought into the ICU. I think that was during possibly when COVID was going on. He was young. He was like you and I, maybe, in that age bracket. He was addicted to sex because to him, the women couldn't get pregnant. He didn't know if he had erectile dysfunction, if he couldn't get a woman pregnant, whatever it was. So he would try multiple different women to drugs. He would take it all to get high. He said, it makes you feel different. What I was cocaine, marijuana, whatever. Some of the drugs, we don't even know what their names were. He was very violent. He was did so many things. He didn't know if he believed in God or not. He said, I just really lived my life. He would smoke lots of cigarettes. He doesn't know if he had cancer or what his family history was. Really didn't have true, meaningful connections. Was suffering from so many, not just medical diseases, but mental health, which is now, I call it intertwined, because the truth of the matter is that you cannot separate, right? Because loneliness, lack of connections leads ultimately to dementia, heart attack, whatever you want to call it. But he didn't know that. So when he got COVID, he came at that time trying to struggle. As a young patient, you think they're going to make it. He was intubated. He really, organs started failing. What I was, the kidneys, everything started going out of control. A lot of the alcohol, you became decompensated cirrhosis, all of the complications you could think of. And then the lungs were compromised and the heart, obviously, COVID had ravaged all of that. And every day I saw him, he had a cross, a rosary in his neck. And every day when I go in there, I will say to him, you can beat this, because he was concerned. This was before things deteriorated and we had to put a tube down his throat. And I remember him holding my hand and saying, if I survive this, I'll be a different person. So every day I would pray for him. I wanted him to survive it because I wanted him to experience what difference meant. And as faith would do it, as God would do it, it wasn't his time. That journey of his was for him to become, to blossom into something better, into not erase his past, but to rewrite his story. One day as I walked into the room, he moved his fingers. And I remember saying, "Thank you, Jesus." Eventually, he got extubated. And he said to me, "I need to be different. I don't need to be a pastor, a priest, an evangelist. But in my own right, I'll rewrite my story." God gave me the second chance I asked for. So when I was on the other side, I had to rewrite my story. So why am I sharing that patient's story today? Because you know mine. Now it becomes our story, right? Of transforming pain into purpose, or of becoming the power of a second chance. Remember, every story has power. When you share yours, you give someone else permission to keep going. Germa Germs, please, if you listen to the end, I want you to remember your story is still becoming. Please share your stories with me. Share your letters. It could be anything. I'll read them in the next episode where we talk about our story together as we close the season. If you haven't already, comment, like, subscribe. Most importantly, share these empowering stories because your story is still being written. Let's write our story together. Thank you so much for listening. And I see you next episode.